All right, so greetings, and welcome to Eureka Math Squared. This is grade 6, module 5, lesson 10, and now we're talking about nets. Now, nets of solids. Now, the net is basically if you take a solid and you sort of unfold, right? A solid. It's kind of like getting an Amazon box, right? And when you're going to put the box in the trash, you sort of unfold the thing until it's flat. And if you do that, well, then that's a net. Okay, so let's say this would be then an Amazon box, right? So let's say this is the bottom of the box, right? This bottom square. And this guy would fold up to be a side. This guy would fold up to be a side. Okay, this guy would fold up to be a side, but then this guy would then, once this guy is folded up, then he would wrap around over here, and then this guy would then be the top, right? Right, because he would be a side, he would be a side, he would be a side, he would be a side. Okay, so this is what you call a net. Now you have all kinds of nets, right? You would fold up to build all kinds of things, right? For some things you would never get in Amazon. This kind of net you would never get as an Amazon box, but this one you would. Okay, and the whole deal about this is, can you figure out what kind of what net would then go with what prism or what pyramid kind of thing, right? Like this guy over here is a square pyramid, but if you unfolded it, the bottom here, right, the base would be a rectangle, and all these side faces, right, would be triangles like this, see? So they would unfold like that. This guy, okay, it looks like you have 1, 2, 3 faces as rectangles, right? So if you unfolded them, you would have rectangles like this. And then you would have these side faces as triangles, okay? So this is what you have to do. So the problem is these aren't in front of you, they're on paper. So you kind of have to use your imagination a little bit. What can I make? So I'm cruising down to page 173 because they have a little activity on that page. And it covers basically everything I want to look at, right? So this guy here, right? So you have this base here. Okay, so we know it's a rectangle, right? Rectangle is something. But if you fold up these triangles, right? You fold them up, right? They would be 4 different sides. And this guy and this guy and this point would meet up at the top, right? Like this, right? They would meet up at the top, a little top vertex right there. There they are, right? Right there, right? And you can see that this is a pyramid, okay? Pyramid. And that's how that would work. This guy, very similar. This would then be the base, and the base is named, right? So that's a triangular, triangular. Better if I spelled that correctly. Ular. And these sides would match up so that you would get something like, right? They would fold up. I don't know, kind of my arrows here. So this would be a side, a side, a side. This would be my base. So then you would have a triangle, right? So like that, like that. And it's a pyramid, okay? Because this guy would form that top vertex. There's your pyramid. Okay, so we had 2 pyramids. Now this guy here would be a prism. Watch, right? Because I can make a loaf of bread out of this guy, right? Let's say this guy is the base, and this is a side face, and this would be an end slice of bread, and this would be another end slice of bread. And this would probably look like something like this, right? So boom, boom, boom. Kind of look like that, okay? And since if you cut them up, all the slices are the same size, and they're all in the shape of a triangle, right? So triangular prism. There you go. And this one's kind of neat, right? So this guy here would probably, let's say I chose him to be the base. Okay, then he would fold up to be a side. This guy would fold up to be a side. This guy would fold over the top and probably be the top of this thing, right? And he would fold down to be another side. And this guy would fold up to be another side. Okay, now he might look pretty funny, right? But he's probably going to look something like this, right? So let's see. Probably something more like that when he's all folded up. But everything's a rectangle, so he's a rectangular, right, triangular prism. And you can see that the prisms, they have things that are all the same shape, right? So they have doubles of, or triples or quadruples of everything, right? So if you have these guys as triangles, as side faces, you know that that same shape is going to run true all the way through. And if that's the case, it's a prism. This guy doesn't work that way, right? So these guys have things that come up to a point, and then that's going to be a pyramid. Again, you have to use your imagination, and that's kind of how it works. Okay, now down here, the next page, it really just says, hey, what are you actually going to do here, right? What actually fits, right? So in here, you just open it up, right? So here's that base, here's that base, and you do something like this, something like this, and you're just mirroring these guys on the other page best you can, right? So again, this guy here, you'd have a big old rectangle, right? So you have a big old rectangle there, and you have those connected to thinner rectangles, right? Thinner rectangles like that. Okay, and you had the bigger guys like that kind of thing. Okay, you just want to make sure you have the same number of faces. So this guy has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 faces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 faces. This guy has 1 on the top, back, front, bottom. That's 4, 5, 6 faces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 faces, and so on. Here's that triangular guy, right? So he's going to have be something like this. 1, 2. Right guy in the back, 3, 4 faces. 1, 2, 3, 4, and they're all triangles, right? And then this guy here who has 4 rectangles, right? Excuse me, 3 rectangles, and then he has that the 2 triangles on either end. Okay, so he's going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 faces. Same here, right? So 4 or 5 faces, and there you have it. Okay, so right, so here's your prism, and each slice of bread is a triangle. Triangular. Some people are really good at seeing these, and some folks aren't, right? These guys meet at the top, so this is a pyramid, right? A pyramid, and his base is a triangle. So triangular pyramid. This guy's a prism, right? Because you can cut him up, and he has all the slices the same size, right? So he's a prism. And he slices in the shape of a rectangle, so rectangular prism. And this last guy is a pyramid, right? Because they all meet at the top. Pyramid. And his base is a rectangle, right? So rectangular pyramid. That's it. Okay, folks. So I hope you enjoyed that. That's a little deal on nets and folding them up and unfolding them. And well, good luck with that because they get interesting. Thanks so much. Take care, and don't forget, math rules.